Zach, I really think you should apologize to her.
What?
Look, I don't know what you offered her, but Andy said you were very generous. And we need to be sure that she still wants to sign these papers.
Shit.
You were wrong.
I know.
All right, so go apologize to her.
All right.
Zach, just go and say you're sorry.
What?
Look, this is not about you.
Okay, Sistas fans, not going off, but I am just like, why are we acting like nothing happened over the past 3 episodes that, would contradict how bad of an idea, or excuse me, not contradict, but the past 3 episodes and everything that's happened. Why wouldn't Fatima think this is a bad idea? Even Zach pointed out himself. So on the one hand, she called Zach to let him know that, hey, Andy looked over the paperwork, said it looked good. Apparently you're very generous. One thing I did like, Fatima did not ask exactly what the paperwork said and how generous Zach was being. I will admit, I did like that because that's not her business. This is just like in the game, season 3, when Melanie had to beg her parents over the phone to give her money for her tuition because I believe at the time she did not get her white coat. And Derwin couldn't give the money because, he had, just been, he had the football injury in season 2, and he was still kind of benched, so he wasn't really bringing in a whole lot of money, so he couldn't afford to help her out. But then she got home and then saw him working on like a life insurance policy, I think for like $5 million for Janae, but it wasn't for Janae, it was for their son in the event something were to happen to him. And she went smooth the fuck off without realizing how selfish she sounds because, one, this is his child. And he's thinking about the future if something were to happen. I feel the same way about this situation where, unlike Melanie, Fatima didn't ask. So I did like that. But in any case, she did call Zach to let him know. And he was like, oh, 1 down, great. And she was like, yeah, but I think you should go apologize to Karen. Wait, what? She ain't going to answer my phone calls? I think you should go to see her. No. Yeah, so somebody else will take a picture? I don't think so. Zach, don't worry about it. I trust you. No. Zach, don't go. Don't go. Zach, don't go. Don't go. And like I said in my other video about Fatima, and the kid and the fact that Zach will confront her over that. I think that if I were Zach and I did what he did, I think the first thing, call the steam plant or go down there and pay for the damages. That would be the first gesture of, hey, I fucked up. Let me pay for it, Hopefully to work something out, so I don't go to jail or anything. I want to reimburse you. That will be a first, good gesture. Secondly, and this is just my opinion, I think he owes Aaron an apology more than he does Karen. In my opinion, I think he owes Aaron an apology more than he does Karen. Going back to Fatima being the one to recommend going to the salon, keep in mind, Zach was the one that went to the salon in the first place, despite the fact that Karen said, send the paperwork to Andy. Andy will send it to me. That's why it was such a big deal with fans when we were like, Zach, why are you going to the salon with the paperwork? You're supposed to submit that to Andy because your lawyer had him, notarized and whatnot. No, that's not how it works. But you decided to go down there by yourself, and then that led to what happened. Now, some people are like, well, Zach was the one that allowed her to, he allowed the hug. He could have said no. Zach didn't know she was going to kiss him. That's one thing. And number two, the hug. It's just, there's a whole lot of blame to be pointed at the core, it was Zach who decided to go down to the salon, not to mention go in the back room. I mean, yeah, Karen was the one that, made him do it, but he was the one that walked back there. He could have been like, hey, here's the paperwork. I'm going to leave it on your counter and I'm going to bounce. But then again, Pam, she probably would have read that shit when Karen wasn't looking. But I think it's really dumb to suggest Zach go back to the salon. And despite me praising Fatima for not being nosy to ask what the paperwork said, for her to say, go down there, I think that was ridiculous. And then if Zach doesn't go, how are you going to say something like, it becomes selfish when it's like, look, if she doesn't sign these papers, we're not going to have a future in this, that, and the third. So she wants to preserve her future with Zach. But at the same time, when he does what you say for him to do, and then shit goes south, you want to get mad at him. That's how it always works. Zach is wrong, even when he does what you tell him to do that you claim is right. This man can't win. I think it's a bad idea, but let me just be clear. I don't think Zach is going down there because the Joey thing is going to throw him off. So instead of going to the salon, he's going to come over to the law firm for their lunch date and then confront her about the kids. So it's kind of funny because Fatima's all about apologizing. You were wrong, Zach. Well, Fatima, you were also wrong due to the fact that you blew up at him because y'all kissing. Even though Karen did reveal, I hugged and I kissed Zach on the cheek. You didn't apologize to him. So who are you to tell somebody else to go apologize? It's just crazy how hypocritical she is. And, in the past, her little cute threats about, well, hey, you know what's going to happen if you don't go down there, or you know what's going to happen if you make me mad, or, we get into it again. Those used to be cute scenes. But based on how Fatima has been acting towards Zach, not just over the past few episodes, but this entire season, it's not that cute anymore. Because it's almost like she's lightly threatening Zach, like, if you don't do what I say, it ain't going to end up too good for you. And it's like Zach has to appease her by doing what she says. But, like I said before, even when he does what she says, and he says, hey, I think it's going to be a bad idea if we do this because I know how Karen is and I know how these ladies are, or Fatima, I know how you're going to react. Zach, don't worry about it. Just do it. And then when the shit goes south, just like Zach said it would, Fatima goes off on him. So I hope he does not go down to that salon. I hope so. But with that being said, take a moment to like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description. And Fatima's something else, y'all. She really is.